Nearly 23 people are reported to have been killed in Telangana on Wednesday as a deep depression passed over the state, causing incessant rainfall and widespread destruction. According to the weather department, the state received 144% excess rainfall than normal in the last 2 weeks, with capital Hyderabad recording 404% excess rainfall than normal, the highest in the state. The deep depression that made streets of Hyderabad resemble rivers had, by Wednesday afternoon, started moving towards Maharashtra, with the Indian Meteorological Department predicting heavy to very heavy rains in parts of western state for today. It has also issued a red alert for the entire North Konkan area, including Mumbai and Thane. As per the latest satellite and radar observations, Mumbai city and suburbs are very likely to experience thunderstorms accompanied with lightning and intense spell of rainfall during the next 3 to 4 hours, possibility of occasional gusty winds reaching 30 to 40 km per hour, and clouds has further moved towards the sea. That is what the IMD tweeted. The alliance and bonhomie in Karnataka between the Congress and H.D. Kumaraswamy's Janata Dal Secular proved short-lived, and now, ahead of the by-elections in the state, knives are out. Both the parties have fielded candidates for Bengaluru's Rajarajeshwari Nagar assembly seat, and sharp comments have been flying from both the sides. On Wednesday, it was the JDS chief and chief minister who erstwhile alliance government H.D. Kumaraswamy who targeted the Congress over the recent violence in DJ Halli and KJ Halli areas of Bengaluru. The violence, which took place in August, had so far provided ammunition to the BJP, with party leaders accusing congressmen of involvement after the house of a Congress MLA, Akhanda Srinivas Murthy, was set ablaze. Kumaraswamy, who was accompanying his party candidate V. Krishnamurthy for his nomination filing, said that the real picture has now emerged. He also said that Congress party is very dangerous for Bengaluru. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar on Thursday appealed to the Punjab government to stop the stubble burning by farmers in the state, and also claimed that while he was travelling in Ludhiana recently, he choked on the smoke generated from the crop burning activities. Javadekar said on Thursday that Delhi pollution situation is critical during the winter. Himalayan breeze, moisture from Ganga, dust pollution in the North India and Delhi, being a plain area, create a crevice for pollution. The minister also said that stubble burning has increased in Punjab, leading to more pollution. Addressing the media, he also said that Punjab government should stop stubble burning. As of now, there is about 4% of the air pollution being caused by the stubble burning activities. The latest asset declarations submitted to the Prime Minister's office revealed that PM Narendra Modi's net worth increased in comparison to last year, while Home Minister Amit Shah's fortunes took a hit. PM Modi's net worth as of June 30th this year was Rs 2.85 crores, up nearly Rs 36 lakh compared to Rs 2.49 crores last year, according to his latest asset declaration. His assets have primarily increased due to bank deposits of around 3.3 lakh and returns on safe investment worth Rs 33 lakh during the last 1 year. By the end of June 2020, PM Modi had only Rs 31,450 as cash in hand and bank balance of Rs 3,38,000 with SBI Gandhinagar NSC branch. He also had bank FDR and MOD balance of Rs 1,60,28,939 at the same branch. The Prime Minister has taken no loans and has no personal vehicle against his name. Chinese President Xi Jinping has called on the troops to put all their minds and energy on preparing for war in a visit to the military base in the southern province of Guangdong on Tuesday, according to the state news agency Xinhua. During an inspection of the People's Liberation Army Marine Corps at Shaozhou City, Xinhua said Xi Jinping told the soldiers to maintain a state of high alert and called on them to be absolutely loyal, absolutely pure and absolutely reliable. The main purpose of Xi's visit was to deliver a speech on Wednesday commemorating the 40th anniversary of the Shenzhen Special Economic Zone, which was established in 1980 to attract foreign capital and played a vital role in helping China's economy become the second largest in the world.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel.